Alright guys, so we're back for probably for this week gonna be the last new type challenge that I'm gonna be attending into next week. So just like the title is suggesting, I have finally entered into my villain arc. I think it was something that I kind of thought of a side play along because I know I wasn't doing good, so I was like, oh, why don't I capitalize on the title and make it kind of fun? But here we go. So this was a deck that I thought I was playing a mirror match at the beginning because I was seeing like Red, seeing L Strikes, and then I was seeing like Rick Diaz and all that. So maybe we are playing mirror match, but it wasn't until a little bit later where the base that he was playing. It's the green base that has 6 help, so usually that was a pretty clear indication, oh, he must be playing like a white green. I didn't really notice until like a little bit later where I was like, oh shoot, he might be playing wing. So at that point, I don't think we were nearly we were definitely not nearing the 8 resources or the level 8 resources level yet. So in my into my thesis as far as how to go about it, I was really trying to see if I can put under the pressure and trying to take him out as soon as possible because once Wing Zero does actually appears, it's gonna cause a lot of problems. So I was trying my best clearing his board, here and there. Especially all the units that he has just doesn't have any HP at all. So I was trying my best. So I did get the L-Strike Kira Link, so I was able to take out one of the units. Got a striker pack going on, so that was actually kind of good for the time being. And there was the Wing Zero. I did take a lot of help. I took like 3 on L Strike, so I think it was actually just down to 2. And I did happen to drop the Gundam Armor Parrot there, so at this turn it was good until he dropped another one and 3-3 across the board, and I was dead at that point. At this point, I didn't really have much to play. I did manage to bring it down to only 3 shield left on my opponent end, but given the hand that I have Justice right now with the Falcon and the Glare, I can't quite see what I have. Very unfortunate that the Lightning and then just the sleeves that I have, I can't make out what I have, given what it is right now. But I do have dropping another Striker pack, but that didn't really help. Another armor was pretty good, but I think right here I want to say it's like the way I was trading into the opponent because I know they have a lot of units. So for me, I was really trying to swing into those Wing Zero because they have high mobility. So I was trying to capitalize on that, but that didn't work. Alright, so moving on to match number 2. I don't exactly remember on top of my head what this deck was about to be, but I want to say all the matchup that I played on that day was actually quite refreshing. It wasn't like the same back-to-back 1-year war deck. It was like a back-to-back Wing Zero deck. It was definitely a lot of mixed elements that you weren't really prepared for in a way, or you wouldn't really be expecting. So first match was obviously a Wing Zero. This one was actually a 1-year, not a 1-year war. Guess what this deck is? It's a purple green, and the funny thing is, like the specific opponent that I played before, I fought him once. I think just in one of those regular tournaments, like just like your weeklies, whatever. The deck that I played before was actually a purple blue. I lost that time. I think I lost pretty quick on that time. I didn't know he was playing purple green. It was just an odd color to see because you don't typically hear that a lot, but he made it work. So it was kind of like a hybrid of just like your traditional purple unit that you'll be using. He did have a lot of those, like you can say Gundam Wing units, like I think Shenlongs and all that other fun stuff. So it made it work for him. So it was kind of good. He did have a lot of those like smaller drops for those green units. So that obviously did help. And he did take down my EX-based shield quite early on, and I kind of break at this one at a time because I did have a lot of units, but it was just that one thing like, oh, you couldn't pull the pilot. So it was at that situation, I even went for the desperate mode, be like, oh, let me actually do a launcher with bomb roll because I can rest somebody, right? So let's go with that. So in this play, I was trying to see if I can swing in with the token launcher strike, but it didn't work because in terms of the token, the linking, it didn't really specify anybody. So we were just saying, oh, I can't swing into it. So I just let it go. I might have to check the ruling it the rules on that, but I was like, I'm just gonna let it go. I'm not gonna attack this turn. Whatever is fine. So that was that. But I think I was pretty late at this point in time because I didn't have any more shield, and I did top deck a. Did I top deck that the base Kusanagi? I might have or I may have not, but that came in pretty crucial. But that didn't really matter because I think I lost right about there. Yeah, so I think that was it. All right, moving on to match 3. Match 3 was kind of like a typical match. It was I would say this specific deck that was running, I want to say, was it the purple blue? We might have to say we were just kind of shuffling along for a little bit because I wanted to record a little bit in advance, so that's why you guys are seeing a lot of shuffling. But I want to say this one was either a aggressive 1-year war, your green blue, or was a purple blue. I think it was a purple blue actually. Not that I think about it. I had the worst hand opening. I drew 5 pilots, so that's why I did have to mow. I think I got Kira, Saletta, Amuro, and then Saletta again. So it was just a bad hand for whatever that was. So it was kind of funny. I told the dude, be like, hey, I'm gonna tell you what I draw afterward because it was just funny. So no, it was actually a 1-year war deck. For this deck specifically, I think this time around I hung on a little bit better, I would say, even though my opponent was able to just instant drop a lot of units. You guys can see 3 units already, and I think we were only at this point like level 4 into the resources wise, but he was putting on a lot of pressure, and I thought I did pretty good. But in hindsight, I didn't know that the Sharasaku 2, after you destroy it, he can bring in a token or whatever that was. So I keep attacking it, so I was like, I shouldn't actually have. So that was definitely my mistake on that. But I was able to get a L Strike Kira Link right there, so was able to clear the board a little bit. So that was actually pretty nice. The L Strike Kira combo did actually live for a little bit, so it was actually not bad. So pretty good on that. And then he drops more of those little smaller bodies just to have things floating around. But you guys can see again, I was already down to 1 health, and I was trying to go for another Amuro link because I just couldn't pull anybody. So I kind of went for that, just so I can rest somebody. So it was pretty good, but he was able to quickly regain that by dropping a lot of units. So that wasn't that great on my end. Getting the show result was actually pretty clutch at that point in time because I was able to get Gundam and Amuro, so that was good. So that was actually pretty nice. But I think right there I did actually make the mistake of actually swinging in with the base, or sorry, swinging in with a blocker, because he was able to win at that point. So that was definitely my bad on that part. So yeah. All right, moving on to match number 4. Match number 4 was a fun game. So even though this one was not your mere matching, right? My opponent was running a red or white. So there was a lot of like the traditional blockers that you would see that I play, like these swords. We have like the Rick Diaz, like the Gundam Lafred and all that stuff. And even I think the L Strikes were there as well. Yeah. So this game was really funny because it came down to the point where I think we were just kind of showing hands. We had a lot of blockers out. It was just like that. So it was kind of funny. And the worst thing for me, until the end, I only had like 1 or 2 cards by, I want to say, towards the end of the match. So I was really relying on what I could actually draw. Just top decking all the time. But you guys will see. It gets really funny towards the end. So right here was still pretty good. I got the base and all that. Overflowing, getting more cards. So that worked out. Getting those Lefris out, getting the larger strikes out. So that was pretty good. I would definitely say my opponent didn't get the pilot that he needed because I saw this in Nanju. It does have high mobility on Link. If I recall, that's what he told me, and he did get the Link. I think it wasn't. It was a Merida instead of a full frontal, so it still took on my base, but that was fine, I guess. And with my area rebuild, I just went into it because I didn't want to deal with that. So it was just, at this point we were just doing blocker versus blocker stand down. That's why we didn't have much to play. So that's all I had to do. But I told him, hey, someone gotta make the first move. So I decided I should start swinging in so I can see if I can potentially clear some of the cards on his end. And because I still have like another Rig DS that I have to play, or if I already played that, so I was like, let me try to make some room for that. So that's why I went for the more progressive end rather than being passive. So I kind of switched on that role, start attacking and whatnot. So I think in that end it does kind of favor me, just trying to take control of the game at this point. But it was pretty close, I would say, because he still has a lot of those like non-white color just dropping like your reds. Like I think both the Kshatriya, the smaller version, and then the actual LR version. So it was funny because we were towards the end, and I told one of the spectator, hey, why don't you actually draw for me? And we were just joking around because like the previous turn, like it was just saying, oh, it was a short resolve. But this time when he actually drew for me, I did get a short resolve, and I used it. I got another one, and I got another one after that. So I got two, and then a overflowing. So that actually won me the game because I was able to draw a little bit more at that point. So that was good. All right, moving into my last match. This one wasn't really much of a show. You guys can see it's just pretty slow as far as you guys can see to speed up the game. Because I was actually playing against a pretty hyper aggressive 1-year war game. So I mean, this one there wasn't much to talk about, but I'll definitely say as far as my second Newtype challenge, like second time playing it, I won't say it's better. I'm still enjoying myself even though I only got one dub. Doesn't really matter. I think there's still a lot to learn as far as like the ruling, some decision making obviously, and just being able to read the board. I think for me, I still have a tendency of not being able to completely just having like a wider point of view of the whole board, making better decisions, learning what to do and what not to do, when not to play aggressive or when to play aggressive. So there were a lot of times I just made some stupid and dumb decision that I shouldn't have, and I think recording either to post on here for you guys to watch or just for me to watch back is gonna be good because it's gonna be like a learning curve for me, being able to see where the mistakes were made. So I think that's gonna ultimately help me grow if I want to continue playing this game. But other than that, I am gonna get rushed down pretty quick over here, so there's not really there's not much to say for me. So I think this game ended in either 5 minutes or 8 minutes in real time, but I cut it down to 3 minutes, just like the same as every match. But you guys can definitely see the pacing on this one. It's definitely much more slower. I didn't have what I need, even though I do have a lot of blockers and whatnot, but they certainly didn't help because towards the end, my opponent already had like 6 units out, and I have to end my turn because I didn't have anything to do. So I got rushed down pretty quick. That's the nature of this game, or that's the nature of the green-blue. If you have something to play against it, you're good. If you can make it into like towards the end game, you're kind of good. But mid game wise for this deck, still super strong. I didn't really have much to contest about that, so that was pretty unfortunate. But other than that, that should be pretty much it for me as far as my second Newtype challenge. But other than that, I will be catching you guys all on the next one.